the Maliki school and the Shafi school have difference of interpretation than the Hanbali school and the Hanafi school over what the actual Arabic is and what you should follow.
No!
Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes. Did Uthman not command that any other Quran other than his ministry?
Uthman bin Affan and Zayd bin Thabit and Ibn Mas'ud, you mix the names up. It's not that. Ibn Mas'ud was jealous of Zayd bin Thabit. He was, right? And we know that. That's the truth. You misunderstood. Ibn Mas'ud was jealous of Zayd bin Thabit. Why? Because Uthman bin Affan chose Zayd bin Thabit to head the committee when compiling the Quran after Umar ibn Khattab.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Yeah, it's fine. It wasn't.
I am talking about specifically Uthman had issue with Abdullah ibn Mas'ud.
He didn't have an issue.
Did Uthman not command that any other Quran other than his ministry?
No problem. And this I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why that doesn't work for you, right?
Because after they don't know what they're speaking about. Like,
the reason that doesn't work for you is because do you know about the 10 qira'ats, right? According to our tradition, whether you accept according to our tradition, we have 10 qira'ats, yeah? So, I'm going to tell you what.
Where's it said that in the Sunnah?
Yeah, just one second.
Don't you want to give them answer.
Do you know what the qira'ats are? This is separate. We're going to go into what the qira'at and ahraf are, but that's going to be too long realistically. We believe, just summarize.
Well, you don't know what they are.
We believe, no. The ahraf?
Yeah.
No, just one second. We know. So the ahraf, I'm going to tell you, but I don't want to deviate from. Okay, I'm going to answer you. I don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't want to what's the variant though? You want to know what you're trying. What's the variant? I don't know what's the variant.
I don't mind answering you, but I don't want to deviate from Ibn Mas'ud allegedly rejecting the Quran. That's a very big claim. I want to reject. So about the Quran, no, such as.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah 98.
Okay, what's your evidence? Okay, first of all, this has been ascribed to a manuscript. Where's his evidence?
Ibn Kathir in his tafsir wrote about how it was known that both in Ubay ibn Ka'b and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud they had a variant of Surah Al-Ma'idah.
I'm going to explain.
Ayah 89 of
can I just explain
where he has a different word in Arabic in his Quran.
Chris, I'm just going to explain to you. In Islam, you can appeal to a scholar, a great scholar, for example, right? Like At-Tabari, Ibn Kathir, but if it's the case that At-Tabari or Ibn Kathir or Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, for example, any imam, any mufassir from the mufassirin, whether he's the mufassir of the mufassirin, like At-Tabari, right? The commentator of the commentators, right? Such a big. If he makes a claim, that he has no evidence, we don't have to accept that. And this is, you can bring the biggest scholar to us, we don't. Even if it's the case, for example, I don't want to give an example because I don't want you to use this as an argument against some random Muslim who doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not going to use that as an example. But the fact is, we don't have to, unless they have evidence. We're not just one way. We don't just say the non-Muslims have to bring dalil. No, we say the Muslim scholars themselves, the shayukh themselves have to bring the dalil. Ma'indum dalil, we don't accept. If they have no dalil, we don't accept. The same for Ibn Kathir. So if Ibn Kathir, regarding Islamic, if he has an Islamic reference, sir, I'm going to ask you now. You mentioned At-Tabari. No, please, just one. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to let you speak, right? And I do have to go soon. We have to wrap this up. You mentioned so far Haytham Sidki, At-Tabari, Ibn Kathir. I'm going to ask you a simple question. It's very fair. With all due respect, Shady Nasser, I don't even want to insult him. He's stupid. His argument's so bad.
Yeah, but that's just
Farid responds, wrote a whole hour embarrassing him. With all due respect,
his personality is
it's not his personality, it's his argument. It's his argument which demonstrates stupidity, right? Here's the question. You mentioned Haytham Sidki, which to me is more of a, I've read his works, right? Haytham Sidki, I've looked into his. No, but I'm not gonna say he agrees with everything. I'm gonna be fair. Like I'm not gonna be one way completely.
I'm not explaining. My point is that you can't discredit him.
No, I'm not. I agree. I just told you I like Haytham Sidki, right? I'm not trying to discredit him.
Sean W. Anthony.
John Anthony's got some good works on like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam historically. Yeah, he has some good works.
The early communities accepted Surah 115 and 116 based off early Islamic sources. He goes into them in an academic paper. Go on academia.ac.uk.
With all due respect, I keep hearing you say.
Who's the prophet? Is it Ibn Mas'ud?
You can't expect me to just carry like academic
papers.
With all due respect,
if I tell you what it is, you can find it.
When I spoke with you about when I quoted the quote, just one second. Scott, that's fine. And then what I said. When I quoted you, for example, author scripture saying this is corruption, whatever. I gave the reference. I'm fine. You can go to your phone. I didn't go to mine. I memorized it. That's fine. You can go to your phone. I'm not saying.
Well, you know his argument though. You know the argument.
No, I know his argument.
My point is no evidence. No, but people refuted the argument. We heard it before.
Yeah. Regarding this.
Well, you know what he's been saying about Ibn Mas'ud.
I'm going to answer you. Okay, look, I'm going to answer your objection about.
So this variant, and it is a variant that is known by the.
I want to talk about.
What is the variant? That's what I want to know.
Okay, Surah Al-Ma'idah.
I want to talk about. Just give me one second. I want to talk about.
Let me explain this first, and then you land, and then you can answer. Okay, in the schools of fiqh, the Maliki school and the Shafi school have difference of interpretation than the Hanbali school and the Hanafi school over what the actual Arabic is and what you should follow.
No!
Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes, let me explain.
No, the Hanbali method.
Let me explain. And you can read this. You can read this.
I've read.
The Hanafi and the Hanbali hold two different views. What they say is it is known that in Abdullah ibn Masud's codex, there is a variant in the Arabic where there's an additional Arabic word where the word consecutively in Arabic is written. They then draw on this for legal rulings.
What is that word?
Sharia. Sharia. This is legal rulings regarding Sharia. They then use this to apply in
Elaborate.
terms of
What is
what
that
you
word
do
and where?
when you break your oath. When you break your oath in Islam, the Quran is clear what you do. It sets out criteria. It says, okay, so first of all, you have to feed so many people. If you can't afford that, you free a slave. If you can't afford that, and it goes through this list, and then it goes to, and if you can't do all these things, then you are to fast for 3 days. But, and if you look at like the Quran today, or any of the 10 Qur'an today, to my knowledge, it just says fast 3 days. But in Abdullah ibn Masud's codex, he had fast for 3 consecutive days, an additional Arabic word. Scholars are agreed on this. This is not a controversial issue.
No.
And for that reason, we are confident that there are, at least in some sense, multiple Qurans.
Okay.
There is Abdullah ibn Masud's. Oh, by the way, Ubay ibn Ka'b apparently have the same thing. So it's both those
Sorry,
two.
repeat it?
Ubay ibn Ka'b apparently also had this extra word in his codex.
Yeah.
So there's variances in codexes among the companions who memorize the Quran. There's multiple Qurans.
Do you want a response?
There we go, I've landed.
Yeah.
First of all, we say that there is one Quran and multiple qira'at. One Quran and multiple readings of this Quran. Now you just appealed to Surah Al-Ma'idah, right? There's so many things you said wrong, but I'm going to go one by one. Surah Al-Ma'idah, you said that 2 of the readers, Ibn Mas'ud and Ubay bin Ka'b, they read it differently. First of all, we believe in 10 different qira'at which have different readings. This reading is valid. I know what you're talking about because I've heard this argument before.
I believe this is
Just, no. It was one of the qira'at does say that. No. This, I'll tell you why. No. I know why. I'll tell you how I know. Because I was in a discussion and debate with a Christian prior to this a while ago. They bring different of the qira'at to bring this argument actually. They say, oh, this qira'at says this.
This is Qur'an.
No, it isn't. Al-Ma'idah is. But
Surah Al-Ma'idah is a whole chapter.
So what is the problem?
no.
Al-Ma'idah, ayah 89.
Ayah 89, which it gives the ruling
Yes.
of what if you break an oath, basically.
Yes.
How do you, what's the word? Like if you break an oath, you
So you have to
redeem.
do, you
What's
do
the word?
Recompense or something like
Something like
I don't know
this.
what they
You
call it
try
now.
and seek forgiveness, yeah?
Yeah, you do certain things. Right.
Yeah. So, but the problem is for me, I want to address.
I don't believe that is
no.
part of the Quran.
We can discuss that
But
more.
that's
You
the
have my.
problem where you
I wanted
explain
to. Okay,
I
we're
looked
speaking.
into
I'll
it,
have your
but
email. I'll
fine.
email you.
So what's the difference from
And
Ibn
Ibn
Mas'ud?
Mas'ud?
I don't get what you explain. I don't.
But I want no,
My
but
point
let me
is
respond.
just-
I haven't finished
This is
responding.
why
I haven't
we
finished
able to-
responding. But you made multiple points. Yeah, I did let
No,
him
but
speak.
the answer that I don't hear what the problem is.
In a nutshell, what is the point?
I got your point.
There's
Brother,
multiple
brother,
Arabic
brother,
Qurans.
let's just explain.
According to the
Saying
companions.
there's multiple
Yeah, if you
Arabic
made the point.
Qurans.
According to the companions.
So you believe that Allah revealed a Quran to Ibn Mas'ud and Ibn Mas'ud is a prophet and he really revealed one to
I
God?
don't believe Allah revealed any of this.
Please, just give me for a second of this for a second.
Akhi, you don't want, if he made 5 points. I don't want some Muslim to hear the
I don't
one
understand
point and
all
not
this
be able
many
to
different
answer it.
Quran
I want to be
books.
able
We know
to
there's one
answer it.
Prophet
Haram.
Muhammad.
This is not. No, it's only fair that I answer because if a Muslim hears it and they get a doubt or something, it's not fair, and then I'll get the sin for it as well. So I have to speak. No, I'm good, thanks.
So he's saying there's
Listen.
multiple Qurans. So
But he's
you-
not showing where the problem is. I don't hear no problem. Like, I don't get like.
He said there's
I have to go
different,
soon, but
different
okay,
readings,
listen.
different...
But I want other people. Listen. First of all, I disagree with the point on the four madahib. I think you misunderstood. You don't know what, with all due respect, I don't think you understand the four madahib. I'll tell you why. When it comes to interpretive matters, for example, talking about Ibn Mas'ud, and if he, like, for example,
His commentary.
if he had a different reading of Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah 89, you said, I believe?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, no problem, that's fine. I can say 89. It's
Not different
the
reading,
point.
different understanding.
Different, no,
when you
but
read
he's
this Quran, you read the scholar says you read it's some commentary or certain stuff on it. That's what happens.
Listen, I have not too long, but I'm going to finish.
Along with the Musaf. But all those that make it a different Quran from what Allah revealed to Prophet Muhammad. That's what I'm trying to
There's a
understand.
different Arabic word.
Because we know what the actual Quran is. It was inside the house of the daughter
Chris, I'm gonna leave him to speak to you, but I want to
Yeah,
finish
but
our
no,
discussion.
like-
I want to me speak, you speak, and then me speak, because I don't want to just leave it midway. It's not good. Okay. First of all, the four madahib, when they talk about fiqh, okay, they talk about a ruling for this. They're not going to talk about Ibn Mas'ud, like this example, or rejecting Al-Fatiha, and the last two surahs in the Quran, like An-Nas and Surah 113. They're not going to, this isn't something they go into, right? Maybe scholars from within the four madahib, right? They independently talk about it, but to represent a madhab, like the madhab of Abu Hanifa, for example, or Imam Malik, or Imam al-Shafi'i, or Ahmad ibn Hanbal, for example, right? This is not something they go into. This is not something they would dispute the madhab just because of whether, for example, Mas'ud rejected surahs.
My point is
It's not
that
something
they never
they
say
go
we
into.
rejected
different madhabs.
There's not
Wait.
something the madhab go into. They study fiqh, not whether Ibn Mas'ud rejected a surah or something.
No. The idea is that it is known that there was an additional Arabic word in Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and Ubay ibn Ka'b's codexes that changed the legal ruling. So two schools don't accept that. They say, no, we don't accept that. We say that you can fast on different days. You can fast on Monday, then Wednesday, then Friday. It doesn't have to be consecutive.
That's interpretation of a verse then.
Yeah,
Interpretation.
Yes, based on,
That's not actual Quran then.
based on the Arabic they have today, it doesn't have the word consecutive. But the other two schools
I
today say that no, you do it consecutively, and you can find
I
this
think this is a
online,
very good thing
but
for-
because they are aware of the additional word in those two currencies.
Chris, I think this is definitely an important point about chapter 5 verse 89, whether it's one part of the Qur'an. No problem. It's 89, no problem. But I think it's important. It goes back to the same principle that I said. We accept that what the fuqaha say, or the mufassirin say, if they have a dalil, if they have an evidence. If they don't bring an evidence, that's to me, that's not an authority. So what I'm going to ask you is this, because I don't want to go too much astray. I want to stick to Al-Fatiha and Ibn Mas'ud and his codex rejecting them, where he rejected it and he made it very clear he rejected them. Now, if you take a look at, you didn't have a reference, like a reference on hand. I'm not going to press you on that. I'm going to grant you, no problem, because I know what you're talking about, right? As-Suyuti's book, Imam As-Suyuti, right? He has a book talking about this. He gives different positions regarding Ibn Mas'ud. But whether this position is valid to begin with, that he even says that he rejected it, I've not seen the evidence for that. But As-Suyuti addresses it, right? Now, Muhammad Hijab, when you spoke about this topic, he gave you a view. I personally don't agree with his view. He thought, no, Ibn Mas'ud. So, because I personally disagree with him, but it's a valid view. It is something which As-Suyuti explained, right? Now, this view says that Ibn Mas'ud, prior, he held this view, and then he later repented for this, right? And there is multiple evidence for this, but the evidence I'm about to bring for this doesn't support just this view, multiple views, right? But I have to be fair and present the views, but even I may disagree with it, whatever. So this view says, the evidence for this would be, we have from the 10 qira'ats, right? Now, we have chains for them, right? Now, in 4 out of these 10 chains, it goes through who? According to, you talk from our paradigm, but according to us, according to us, 4 of these 10 qira'at, Mas'ud narrates them to his students. All of these qira'at include An-Nas, 113, and Al-Fatiha. So this shows, this would be an evidence that some scholars may use to support what Muhammad Hijab told you. There's another position which says, no, there's no evidence that he even said this, right? Now, I hold to the view of neutral. I don't mind either view. But I personally don't, I need to see the evidence even from the scholars and from Haytham Sidki that he said this. I want to know this position that he rejected this. That's basically it.
Okay.
But it's very heavy.
There's a lot of things to go through.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so my issue here is that ultimately some companions of Muhammad, the Sahaba, had different understandings as to what the Quran was.
What do you mean? No. They understand that the Quran was that which was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu. Okay, when you say, if that's what you mean, then no, that's false. Because they all understood it was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through Jibreel, to Muhammad sallallahu. They all understand this the same thing.
They may have eventually.
Sorry, what?
They may have eventually.
I didn't hear you.
They all may have eventually came to that idea.
But that's the thing of
That's what the verse meant.
By the way, the Qira'at are not mutawatir.
I know you're gonna say the project Haytham Sidki, which
Marin van Putten.
No, but
Marin quotes Al-Jazari.
No, Marin van Putten's he's studied this topic. Marin van Putten, but I mean, I don't even need to go that far. For me, I can go as far as say Haytham Sidki understands this and yeah.
When he quotes Al-Jazari.
Yeah, Marin van Putten, he does mention this stuff. Van Putten, he mentions how 7 of the 10, according to his standards, would be, and he goes on further as well, but it's a big topic. But he says, to summarize his position of Van Putten, he says that 7 of them are mutawatir. He says there's 3 that are not mutawatir.
No.
Can you bring the reference where he says all 10?
If you go
I know
on
what you're talking about when he
his
responds
blog,
to the claim on Twitter.
Marin van Putten's blog, he has an article about this where he translates Al-Jazari in the 15th century, expanded the canon of acceptable qira'at from 7 to 10, and he gives his criteria, and he does not include mutawatir.
It's in Twitter
as,
as well.
it's
in Twitter.
Yes, it's in Twitter.
Who, sorry?
It does not include mutawatir as one of the criteria.
Who, sorry?
Al-Jazari.
Which is in when?
In his works.
In
I
what?
can give
No,
you an
when?
answer if you want to
Like
see.
from where?
What do you mean?
From when?
From 15th century, Al-Jazari.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's enough to say. Like, what the hell, 15th century? I'm going to go to him.
He's
I'm
the
going
guy
to
who
go to earlier
expanded it from
scholars.
7 to 10. He's the guy who accepted as a canon that the old one by Ibn Mujahid.
Mujahid
in the 19th century.
Mujahid. Okay, no.
Yeah,
If you
but
take
then
a
later, in the 15th century, Al-Jazari expands it from 7 to 10. And Al-Jazari's like, yes, not mutawatir.
No.
He said he used to hold that opinion, but then he asked for forgiveness. He repented of that opinion because he says the more correct opinion is that it's not mutawatir.
That's fine. Just one second.
Okay, so
I'm going to respond. No, just 1 second. First of all, him saying that it's not a condition that is mutawatir, if he even said that. First of all, I've not seen the reference for that, right?
Sure, he does. Check out his blog.
Yeah, I know. He says, I know he responds to the claim that because Muslims appeal to vampirin a lot, or they used to, and he responds to it. That's
very
fine.
credible academic.
But this claim is, I'm not disputing his knowledge at all.
Good.
Do I agree with everything? No.
Yeah,
But likewise, Haytham Sidki, do I agree with everything, even though I like him a lot? No, I don't.
Scholar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
So
except for
as
Shady
for the
Nasser.
reference for there, except for Shady Nasser. Shady Nasser, no, it's not credible. But no.
Too shady.
But yeah, too shady for my liking. But listen, on a serious note though, this thing would go back even to him. I'll have to see the reference. I'll have to see the evidence for that. Now, him saying that it's not a condition, right? Which we understand that when we look and study this as well, the Quran and the study in the history of the Quran, we know it's a condition, right? When we're taught about this, no.
the very thing that's in
I know, it's fine. But what I'm saying is that it's clear that doesn't negate the fact that it is mutawatir. Saying that it's not, for example, we accept, it's just an example. We can accept hadith, right? We Muslims accept hadith, for example. If the chain is like ahad, if it's one chain, we can say to accept the hadith, it's not a condition that it has to be mutawatir. Does this now mean that we have no hadith that's a mutawatir? No, if it's a non sequitur, it doesn't follow from that, right? But the main thing is this, right? Because this is a bit like of the point. It's a good question to ask, but I want to first deal with Ibn Mas'ud because that's fine. So Ibn Mas'ud, there's just two positions basically. One is negating it.
Before you do this, do you concede that as far as you know, Al-Jazari does indeed say
No, I've not seen evidence for that.
No, I'm saying that based on what I'm saying. If what I'm saying is true, and you go and you find Miriam Van Putten who quotes his work, then Al-Jazari's opinion...
No, it's not that easy.
He did not accept Mutawatir.
So first of all, it's not that easy. I'll tell you why. When we take a look at studying the scholars, right, Islamic scholars, even if we take a look at like Muslim scholars, right, like Imam Bukhari, for example, he didn't just write as his Sahih, right?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Khalq Af'al al-Ibad, for example, right, the created actions of the servants, whatever, right? So this book, for example, and many other books as well by other scholars, we don't just look at a quotation from that. It's so in depth. You look at the manuscripts of this scholar, right? What do the manuscripts, even of a scholar, right? Like Imam al-Bukhari, for example, right? Or al-Bayhaqi, or any of these scholars, right? Abu Mansur al-Maturidi, Abu Hassan al-Ashari. So if he's going for that and using a manuscript, we have to look more than that. We cannot just take his word. We have to look at the manuscript, verify it. This job is way too big. Even for me, it's too big. This is why we have scholars who we don't go to these scholars, these Western academia as our authority, right? Do they make points?